Like Peter Frampton. Wow. Hey, everybody. Midnight's Edge After Dark. What's going on?
Actually,
mercifully, it's the first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. First day of fall in the Southern Hemisphere.
oh, it is, isn't it? I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
Isn't that tomorrow? You sure it ain't tomorrow?
I don't know. Whatever. All I know is you're supposed to be able to balance an egg on its point today. With me as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Yeah, I stepped on the intro there.
That's okay.
How we doing?
And with us, as always, the ever vivacious, ebullient, and koala-friendly Miss Mecca Random.
Koala-friendly. Hello.
Yes. Hold on. Well,
you guys didn't see the koala. I guess you guys wanted me to show off the koala.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Koala's awesome.
It's kind of cute. Isn't it cool?
It is, isn't it? There's actually a Paul McCartney song, "Ode to a Koala Bear." All right, we got to talk.
That should be a Ringo song, though, don't you think?
No, that's actually
koala bears.
I think it's an instrumental.
Everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, something happened last night while we were all while some of us were sleeping. You know, I know we were all waiting. 8, 7, 6,
Spring?
4. And the Disney counting down the Disney acquisition of Marvel. Hey! Woohoo! It's official. Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns Marvel? Disney already own Marvel. They own Fox.
Disney owns everybody but the Spider.
Yes.
Everybody but Warner, right?
Warner, who else?
Don't change clothes.
I actually saw something like they tweeted out yesterday that the Disney bought Warner Brothers or something. Like Screen Rant. I think it was a mistake.
I was going to say AT&T merger.
Screen Rant's not worth. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. I was about to say Screen Rant's not worth. Yeah, I was going to say Screen Rant's not worth the paper they're printed on, but they're not printed on paper.
Exactly.
So, Senior Bob Iger, he sent a memo out. Should we do some background music for this? I don't know what kind of.
I don't know. We got a super chat before you do that from the hunky chunky funky monkey. Cha-ching.
Hunky chunky funky monkey.
Ka-ching.
Where's my I don't have a ka-ching. Where the heck is my ka-ching? Here we go. All right, what do we got for hunky chunky? You get my money, Disney Duck Fisney. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. £2 super chat. Thank you, hunky chunky funky monkey. Let me tell you something. Over the past couple, I was watching Jessie Milestone just before. She says like every one of her Captain Marvel videos got demonetized.
That really sucks. Mine, my first one I ever did got demonetized, but the rest of them hasn't been touched. But I've been getting like the worst, most harassing, bullying sort of. They come from like PR account firms stuff. Yeah. Just people who are just on your ass. Same thing like when we have the Star Trek Discovery people. Mm-hmm. They're paid to harass you basically.
I read actually a number of years ago in all places Game Informer trolls, online trolls are often marketing firms trying to test the water.
There is that to a point, but I'll tell you, there's guys out there who are actually just doing it of their own accord. You guys are coming off like bill collectors. You're not helping your point. You're not making me change my mind. I'm not going to suddenly have a change of heart and think that rot TMNT is good or something, just because you got to come at me. It's not going to change my mind. If you want to give me a decent argument, maybe I'll consider it. But if you're just going to come at me like a little prick, that's the last thing I'm just going to come at you even worse and harder.
Exactly.
Even more. I'm sorry. I'll admit it. When I'm not on the show like this and people piss me off on Twitter and Facebook, I can be a jerk. And that's why I shouldn't be on social media, but
we all could be a jerk.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if they're clearly they bother you like they're a telemarketer. You know, they keep calling. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I don't go to Brie Larson. I don't tweet at her. I don't go to Kelly, whatever the hell her name was, who wrote Captain Marvel. I don't go to any of those people personally. It's like I'm shouting on my own YouTube channel. If people really want to disagree with me on my opinion of a movie that was mediocre at best, not terrible, not great, then go and make a video about me. Go do it. Please make a video. Make 1,000 hate videos about I hate Mecha Random 42. I don't care. You're not going to convince me. You're not going to change my mind. You're just going to be getting in fights with people all day. I don't have time for that. I just ban them if they're that bot happy and report them for harassment.
Oops, I make sure I was just going to say, it's a good point not to like really, you know, the hate videos and stuff like that. If you want to get on hating YouTubers and be a YouTuber yourself, not a good thing to do. At least we don't get into that mess. Well, yeah. You know, stuff we're commenting on is entertainment. It's supposed to be stuff for our entertainment, stuff we pay for, stuff we have expectations for, and we are allowed to have expectations for. And anybody who wants to come back and tell us we shouldn't be able to criticize anything, well, then you're obviously not understanding the whole point of entertainment and paying for entertainment.
Well,
you go
that's the whole idea.
Dinner, you have the expectation when you go in, you know, it's
But the whole idea is when somebody creates any kind of art, it is put into the public forum and it is evaluated, it is criticized, it is analyzed, and sometimes it is mocked and parodied, you know, and sometimes you make fun of it. Anything else? You think do you think the Beatles were upset when Eric Idle made the Ruddles? I mean, jeez.
Well, I'll be honest, I make fun of stuff I love.
Me too.
More than I do of stuff I don't like. For that reason, is because of the love of it. It's why I love things like Spaceballs, is because I love Star Wars. It's making fun of Star Wars and Star Trek and all that, you know, all the stuff I love. You know, I love parodies of things, and especially parodies of things I love. There's nothing wrong with that. Why there's this inability to have a sense of humor the other way around is beyond me. I mean, I guess there's being mean-spirited at times, but when it comes to this Captain Marvel business and a few other things that have been going on, people just lighten the fuck up. Seriously,
Tom,
lighten up.
Yeah. Tom, I'm curious. Has my review been demonetized?
Not yet, actually, surprisingly, and it's doing fairly well.
Sweet.
Nice.
I think if you would have released it a week ago, it might have gotten a little bit more flack from a bunch of people.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the way I do the reviews, they take a while to do. You write and record. I have rewrite and record, edit. You know, I'm a one-man operation. So, but anyways, the whole thing, like I said, the whole thing is, this Disney Marvel deal. There's good and there's bad in it. The good is, like I said, we get all the Marvel characters under one house. The bad is it's more media consolidation by a single corporate entity, and we've seen over the last couple of weeks what in my opinion, a corporation can do to suppress criticism of their product. And I'm afraid that it's probably just gonna get worse from here on out, because they may be emboldened by this. They may be emboldened. Yeah, they're gonna embolden them. Yeah, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Hello?
I've just been informed. I've just been informed there is a porn parody of Captain Marvel. My question is: it girl on girl porn?
I don't know about that. I've seen one picture from it.
I know of the Ms. Marvel Scarlet Witch porn, which is girl on girl.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And now everyone's googling it.
Giggity.
Sorry, I saw porn and then my mind went to porn. So
Googling and ogling it.
Where's Tyler's aunt we need when we want to talk porn? Jeez.
Right.
Why would I wouldn't be surprised if she was like making amateur stuff. Not as an insult or anything. She just seems like she'd be fun and do that.
Tyler said, oh yeah, Tyler was talking to her about me. She said, oh, she likes that I'm sex positive. Yes, I'm sex positive. Yes, the only thing I'm positive about right now is I'm not having any sex. That's the only thing.
I was gonna say, most men are positive they want to have sex, so I don't know about
yes. You know, there's one of those Facebook things that said, describe your love life and by using the title of a movie. It said Vanishing Point. You kidding me? Jeez. It's this Sahara. It's dry, empty, devoid of human life right now. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But let's get back to Disney. Bob Iger. Yes, let's all feel sorry for me. Bob Iger. Bob Iger, he circulated a memo. And that memo has actually been on was published on CNBC.
But did you get the memo?
Yes, I just got it right here. I get the reference. So, subject: a historic day for our company. Sure, I should read this in a German accent. I don't know if Bob Iger's German, but you know. Or what about? Should we read like?
He probably is. He probably is.
A historic day for our company. We got to play some marching music behind me. I am proud to announce the acquisition is complete and 21st Century Fox is now part of the Walt Disney Company. I'd like to welcome our new colleagues and thank employees on both sides of the deal for your patience and perseverance as we worked through the lengthy acquisition and regulatory process. As you know, Disney has never been short on ambition. We've never been satisfied with the status quo, and our vision for this transformative era is our boldest yet. We are rapidly transforming our company to take full advantage of evolving consumer trends and emerging technology in order to thrive in this new and exciting time. Our acquisition of 21st Century Fox was driven by our strong belief that the addition of these great businesses, brands, franchises, and talent will allow us to move faster, reach farther, and aim higher, especially when it comes to building direct connections with consumers. I wish I could tell you that the hardest part is behind us, that closing the deal was the finish line rather than just the next milestone. What lies ahead is the challenging work of uniting our businesses to create a dynamic global entertainment company with the content, the platforms, and the reach to deliver industry-defining experiences that will engage consumers around the world for generations to come.
To come?
Generations to come.
Oh, generations.
Yes. Yes. We've spent the last year exploring new opportunities and synergies generated by bringing our two legendary companies together. Leaders across both organizations have worked closely together to understand how to best unlock this potential and unleash innovation and creativity to generate long-term growth.
Long-term growth? It's good.
It's good, yes.
Good.
We're confident.
Finds your voice arousing tonight, yes.
Oh, yes. We are confident in our integration strategy and in our ability to execute it effectively.
And we didn't one time.
Execute it effectively. And we're inspired and energized by the new possibilities. Our integration process will be an evolution, with some businesses impacted more than others. We've made many critical decisions already, but some areas still require further evaluation. We may not have answers to all of your questions at this moment, but we understand how vital information is, and we are committed to moving as quickly as possible to provide clarity regarding how your role may be impacted.
I will impact a role.
Yes.
Wait, what were you
Having been on both sides of numerous acquisitions during my career, I have a deep appreciation for how this one impacts everyone involved on both a personal and professional level. I understand the challenges.
Who told you?
And I
Eric
asked-
is Order 66. Get that man. He knows too much.
Yes, he knows too much. We must liquidate him immediately. I understand the challenges, and I ask for your continued patience in the days to come as we combine this great collection of assets to create the world's premier entertainment company. Sincerely, Bob.
But why? You're just making everything into Disney princesses, and it's stupid.
Is it sexual harassment if I ask you to rub my nipples while he speaks?
Yes.
Because the Disney princesses exemplify strength through joy. Don't you know that, memorandum?
But they're all Mary Sue characters, and they're terrible.
Yes, they are Mary Sue's. They are perfect. They are the perfect master race who will breathe life into a new generation.
Hail the mouse house.
Hail Mouse House.
Send them to Mauschwitz. Robert Price says, "Yeah, that's better than what I could come up with."
Mauschwitz.
Oh, that is good. Let me write that down. Mauschwitz. Yes, I will write that down. Coming summer 2021. Mauschwitz, our new attraction in Orlando, Florida. Yes. First, we are rolling it out. We're going to roll it out at Euro Disney to see how people like it first.
Is that where they want to put all the little toxic fanboys? All the little white
Yes, the fanboys.
neckbeards.
We will re-educate the fanboys. They will learn to love Disney once again.
We will make it great again.
And go see Aladdin. You will see Aladdin.
You know
You
you
will
want
I
to
don't
see
want to see
Nick
Aladdin.
rapping. As we told you, he would be rapping. Another friend like me. Never
Yes.
find friends. That's what I talk about.
Yes. Why did we not have the marching band music behind me when I was talking? It make it sound even more sinister.
I don't know. Whoever didn't do that is fired.
Fired. We're going to send him to Mauschwitz.
Huh.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
Huh.
Let's see. Now he's got to be wondering, where is the mouse? We need to, yes. Let's see.
I just want to thank everybody for, Goofy, of course,
Well, Walt did have that little mustache, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He had a mustache. He knew
Here,
he had a mustache.
we're making an announcement here.
Yes.
We're not gonna we're not gonna get rid of Fox. Well, we are, but not like you think. It's gonna be called 20th Century Mouse now instead
Yes,
of Fox.
20th Century Mouse. This is our new. This is the new. This was we're here going through the gates of Disney World. Yes. This is our new marching music. You will hear this before. You know how they 20th Century Fox, they have the dun, 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 dun. This is what you're going to hear now. Before. This is German marching music. Actually, hold on. That's not good.
And I'd like to bring out a special guest. I know he's not German, but he's Austrian. It's close. Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hello.
Yes.
How are
Yes.
you doing? I seen
Yeah.
you shoot at me in your latest movie. Why did you shoot my face?
Because you're toxic
don't know.
masculinity.
Ah! He's out of control. Get him. You shot my face. Why did
Because
you
you're
do
a
that?
symbol of the patriarchy.
Matriarchy, patriarchy. I don't care. True Lies is a fucking classic. Cinematic classic. You defiled my face.
I think I found the new. I think I found the new music we play whenever we talk about Disney. Does that sound sufficiently evil?
Recall.
And it's royalty free.
And that is correct. True Lies is one of your movies now, Disney. What you gonna do about it? Huh? You think your little Captain Marvel can kick my ass? Let's see the little girly girl. I don't care. I'm all for, equality. I will equally kick her ass just like everybody else.
Let me see it.
I don't care. I will fuck her up.
But you can't. She's a Mary Sue. She's perfect at everything.
Shot my fucking face. There. Last person who shot my face was Sarah Connor, and I will let that go. But no, it was like somebody else. I don't care. But point is, I will fucking wreck her for ruining. That is a collectible. You know how hard it is to find one of those somewheres? I tried to find one on eBay. It's like impossible. And it's my face. She shot it, bitch.
Well, that's what you get when you represent the patriarchy.
I don't represent no patriarchy. I was in The Predator. I don't know what this patriarchy is.
I don't either.
That. I was in Terminator. I was in Predator. I was not in what movie is that?
It is toxic masculinity, mister.
No, that's Van Damme.
No, he's too sexy to be toxic.
I love women. I don't hate women. I love breasts and I love butts. Which Captain Marvel you have none of. So fuck you, Captain Marvel. I will fuck you up. This is me calling you out now. This is a pussy. Girly girl. Can't even just come shoot me with your fists.
I bet she does a lot of fisting.
Telling is correct. Django Smash runaway hit movie. They didn't have to buy fake tickets for.
Yes, yeah. You don't have to pad the box office.
Well, that type of movies were good.
And I don't have to pad my muscles like she has to pad areas that I won't say because I'll be called a sexist.
Yeah, Arnold didn't need no butt double.
That's right. My butt is still good.
No,
for like another 10, 15 years at least.
That's right, yeah.
I didn't do steroids until after I won all those awards. Okay? I know what I'm talking about.
So you didn't do steroids until after?
As far as you know.
There's actually a royalty. Yes.
To the chopper.
Oh, here we go. There we go. That's what we're talking about now. That's what we're talking about now. It's sufficiently evil for when we're talking about Disney.
That sounds like something I would have as theme music, though.
Yeah, we've gone way off the rails. That's just because I've had a weird couple of days and I just lived through Arnold Schwarzenegger does not express the opinions and feelings of Midnight Set or Midnight Set After Dark. They are of Arnold Schwarzenegger's own feelings alone. Same thing goes with
So what do we think? Does that sound sufficiently evil? What's the chat think? Does that sound sufficiently evil?
I'd say get the Imperial March, but we'd get pegged.
They're saying, I love Caligula. See, I just spent a whole Captain Marvel video basically recommending people watch Caligula instead.
Okay, I know what it is. I know who's in it. I'm well aware of it, but I have yet to actually see it.
Oh, watch the long version. There's a whole subplot that gets cut out that you actually need, even though it's a porno.
And Helen Mirren, so hot.
It's not a porno. It got it has real actors in it. I don't.
Yeah,
care.
but there's real fucking.
I know.
There's actually part of it is put on the Matthew Sweet's album Altered Beast, the speech. I have existed from the morning of the world, and I shall exist till the last star falls from the night. Although I have taken the form of Caius Caligula, I am all men as I am no man, and therefore I am a god. I shall wait for the unanimous decision. I shall wait for the unanimous decision of the Senate, Claudius. All those who say I, say I. 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 He's a god now. So.
And now I want to watch Caligula, thanks.
I can't believe 120 people are still listening to us just rant and rave about weird shit.
So is Caligula a bad movie to watch when you Netflix and chill?
No, it's probably the best one.
Okay, good.
Is it on Netflix?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
All right. Well, anyway, we've kind of run this into the ground. Like I said, this is, yeah, there's good things and there's bad things, but it seems like there's going to be a lot more downside to this deal.
Repeat that again.
I don't.
The Disney Fox deal.
I didn't catch the first part.
There's upsides. There's some upsides, but it seems like there's gonna be a lot more downsides.
Yeah. Nikki, you were gonna talk first. Sorry, I didn't catch it.
No, it's all right. I was thinking that they don't. I don't think they're going to affect the Orville yet. I think they have so much on their hands destroying Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now to really worry about the Orville yet. But yeah.
Yeah, we need to fully destroy. You know, a lot of people keep saying this. Oh well, how are they going to destroy Marvel Cinematic to make it more inclusive? Like, yeah, they're not. No, they're going to ruin it. Yeah, someone when you know who shoots off her mouth. I want to lead all female Avengers. I dare you to make an all female Avengers movie. I dare you. I dare you. Hear me? I dare you.
I want to look at a bunch of frumpy bitches with flat asses from a whole series of movies. No more Captain Marvel.
I don't have to prove anything to you. That had to be like the absolute worst line of the whole movie.
The whole movie is dumb.
Yeah, the whole movie, but that would just like exemplifies. That just puts like an extra cherry on top of a just especially bad crap Sunday. Trying to censor myself. Brad Jones left California. Well, nothing's going to happen right away. There's going to be a lot of layoffs, and we hate to see anybody lose their job, but it always happens in these types of mergers. So, not like I said, nothing's going to happen. The Simpsons are still on the air for another 2 years.
Right. I was going to say, a lot of the shows still have contracts and stuff, so it's not like a lot of the television's going to change. As far as the layoffs, as far as I know, 21st Century Fox has about 22,000 some employees, and only 4,000 are losing their jobs. So if that's the case, you have to look at it like Fox wasn't necessarily in the best of shape as it was, and going forward, they didn't have, you know, the legs to stand on to compete with Warner Brothers and Disney and all these other companies that are huge. So this was going to happen one way or another. It was going to be Viacom, or it was going to be somebody else who was going to buy them. So it was just a matter of time. So if 4,000 people losing their jobs to save, you know, 18 to 20,000 jobs, that means something. And a lot of these jobs may even be production jobs. And like, that just means movies that might've been shut down that didn't get to go ahead and stuff like that, because there was a cutoff date that if your movie wasn't in production by a certain date, then Disney was going to possibly shut it down.
A lot of them probably the office jobs too, you know, like just the redundancies.
Right. Redundant jobs are going to get, and that's the thing we've seen from their output, their planned output is they are going to kind of split the output between Fox and Disney instead of it all being like 20 some movies a year from one studio like it normally is. It's going to be 12 or so from Disney and like, what was it, like 8 or 9 from Fox or something like that.
Yeah. So anyway, there's actually there's a kind of a related story. This relates to you know who, our favorite wrestling bitch face. Should we talk about this?
Is it Brie Larson?
Hurry up, because I want to get to Bill and Ted.
Well, okay. Oh, really? There's Bill and Ted news.
Well, yeah.
But okay. Well, bounding into comics is saying that Captain Marvel looks like it's going to fall short of Disney's rumored projected box office take.
Somebody was yelling at Andre in his latest video about Andre saying something about the 750 million it needs to break even. That's not our numbers, guys. That's other numbers that people have said. That's nothing to do with us. So what that tells me is they spent way too much fucking money on advertising, they're not counting reshoots and shit in that 150 million.
Yeah. Okay, let me read this. Okay, Marvel Studios, Captain Marvel has earned over 779 million at the box office, the global box office, but only 270 million so far at the domestic box office. Well, what does that matter? It matters because they don't get, and they sometimes they get as little as 25% of the foreign box office.
Yeah, the basic math is this. If you can make double your budget back in the US or triple your budget overall, that's kind of the movie math right there. And again, it all depends. Things they don't talk about are advertising. And depending on who you ask or who's asking, you'll get a completely different answer. A movie will either have made billions of dollars or it hasn't made jack shit, depending again on who's asking or who you're asking. So it's all movie math, people. It's fuzzy.
Well, and you also have to remember, there's an old Dick Van Dyke Show episode that I was kind of referred to when I kind of try and explain, like, you have different money and different companies and different sub companies that different things come out of. So your production budget will come out of, your production budget. And then your advertising will come out of a completely other sub company that's owned underneath the umbrella of everything. So it's all this money is shuffled around so many times over. So that's why all the numbers are inconsistent.
All right. Well, okay. As we previously reported, our sources at Disney projected domestic box office take, which indicated they were expecting the film to gross $450 million domestically after a $150 million projected opening weekend. The film hit Disney's opening weekend projection, bringing in a reported $153 million. It would see a 55% drop in its second weekend, only bringing $67 million. For a comparison's sake, Wonder Woman brought in $412 million in domestic gross over the course of its run in theaters. The film opened, pardon me, up to $103 million and would bring in $58 million in second week, only a 43% drop. Wonder Woman would earn $206 million by the end of its second week. The movie would stay on, would stay go. That doesn't make sense. The movie would go on to earn, proofread your ship bounding. The movie would go on to earn over $200 million more throughout the summer. Thor Ragnarok would only bring in $350 million domestically. That's all it made domestically, really? And it opened up with $122 million weekend.
Yeah, Thor didn't do as well domestically, for some reason.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it would have a similar drop to Captain Marvel, only bringing in $57 million, a 53% drop. By week 2, it had grossed $212 million. In the next 5 months, the film would earn around $100 million more. If Captain Marvel follows the same pattern as Thor Ragnarok, the domestic gross for Captain Marvel might be $80 million off Disney's projected total domestic gross. Thor Ragnarok also appears to have been favored by fans as its audience score on Rotten Tomatoes sits at 87% with over 90,000 reviews. Captain Marvel's Rotten Tomatoes audience score is at 62% from over 72,000 reviews. Wonder Woman had an audience score of 88% from over 127,000 views.
I haven't looked in the last few days, but last I knew, mine and several other people's reviews still hadn't posted on Rotten Tomatoes either. So last I knew, they still weren't taking any less than 3-star reviews.
Well, just to jump ahead, okay, they said they scrubbed 50,000 reviews from the website. Sci-Fi Wire's Danny Roth also admitted that critics generate fake reviews and create positive articles in order to maintain their access with movie studios. Captain Marvel actress Brie Bitchface Larson?
Flat ass.
No, that's flat ass.
Always remember, you're a whore.
So
okay, guys, be nice. I was mean enough as Arnie.
Oh, well, that's not me. That's Roger. Roger's calling her a whore.
See, here's the thing. She can, I don't want to pick on something that she can't fix. She can eat a damn hamburger and get an ass. She can't fix her personality.
Bitch.
So
you do have a point there, Mecca, from a woman's standpoint. I'll agree with that just to save my own ass.
Well, anyway, Captain Marvel Captain Marvel actress Brie Larson was responsible for her own share of negativity surrounding the film. Larson injected her own personal politics into the marketing of the film, even describing the film as her form of activism. She would go on to make cracks about the patriarchy and describe the film as promoting intersectional feminism. But maybe the biggest piece of controversy Larson brought upon herself was her comments about wanting fewer white men to review Captain Marvel and cover the film on her press tour, which if you go and look at her interviews, all white guys. it's definitely possible. It's still possible for Captain Marvel to hit the $450 million mark, but it's going to need to have Wonder Woman-like longevity, and I don't see that happening as we get deeper into March and April, when the film will face some competition at the box office with, oh, damn it, I don't have the sound effect, with Hellboy, Dumbo, and Shazam! And others providing stiff competition. Do you think Captain Marvel? Okay, yeah. So it's going to have to hit at least $450 million to meet their projection.
Well, to be clear, we never once said the movie wasn't going to make money. Nobody ever on Midnight said, or anybody like that. I don't know where that rumor started, or in general. I don't remember hearing too many people ever say it was going to lose money. Now, it could just fall into the projections that we all kind of gave it, which was what, between, we all said, it has to make more than like 800 million. And it has done that so far pretty much overall. So it's okay. But Disney, who put this arbitrary number out there of 750 million, it had to break even. So
that's on, they're the ones who set that benchmark.
Or whoever it was that put it out there, because it wasn't us. We didn't just make that up,
Yeah, like we have that kind of sway.
Well, I noticed like earlier when we posted our Anson Mount story, because we did cover it on the last podcast, but it was like late in the show on Monday night. So we're like, oh, let's just do a quick news kind of brief thing for it. And people are accusing us of passing off fake news. It's like, no, we're just reporting what Deadline reported. Yeah, we're reading between the lines here a little bit, but just frankly, why would you even report on the fight if there wasn't a fight? And why was it reported to HR if it was just an accident? Because, if you accidentally bump into somebody, you don't call HR. You know what I mean? So something had to go down. And there's just a history of fights behind the scenes. So that in itself is more, interesting than anything else. And, it's just, I don't know. I just love it when people say we just make shit up. Like, if I was going to make shit up, I'll be honest with you. If I was going to make shit up, it'd be a hell of a lot more interesting than the shit.
Exactly.
Well, no, because here on my video, I took that and I said, what happens? You don't just call HR for nothing. Here's the other incident that actually was reported where they apparently were yelling across the table at each other in the writer's room. So they do kind of have a hostile work environment.
Somebody that took somebody by their hands around their throat or something like that too, or something.
Yeah, that was a rumor. I couldn't find out that like an article.
I think that was that incident, was the leaping across the table to choke somebody was the whole point.
Yeah. But still, when you put a title on something like fight, it's because I'm talking about, hey, possibly there's a fight going on behind the scenes. What the hell happened? Yeah, or fired. You put because why would it be such a huge deal? Why would he be like, hey, hashtag unemployment, hashtag this and that? Yeah, you have to kind of put something on there to get somebody to click, because you're only going to see for maybe 2 seconds out of the corner of your eye a thumbnail of a video before you decide which one to click on. So it has to be like the base. It's like a Google search result. Put in as few keywords as possible.
Mecca, we have some exclusive audio behind the scenes at the Star Trek writers' room. Okay, we have this was captured on a cell phone. Okay, we have exclusive audio.
I don't like you, and you don't like me.
Okay, that's about it we have. So, yeah, so exclusive behind the scenes. We get all the best scoops for you.
You're the kind of guy who visits Jerusalem and doesn't want to see the Sexateria.
So, that was fighting words.
And Mecca just sent me this here, evidently. Oh my god!
Yeah, somebody sent me this in a tweet.
What the fuck? Like, seriously, what the fuck?
Oh god!
Just this is real too. That's a set. This isn't like some troll shit. This is like some real shit.
And they have the nerve to bitch about how we perceive this. They have the balls to send their little troll accounts and fanboys to call us trolls, and they do this shit. Oh, this is precious.
Oh boy! Next thing, she's gonna have some like dorky guy on the back, or some mousy girl on the back. Yeah. With a leather jacket and a helmet. Where are we going, baby? Shut up, we're going for a ride. So,
well, I already talked about. like the Mary Sue, the hate group, the Mary Sue, in my opinion anyway, they released an article where basically the writer said, oh yeah, there better be some girl on girl lesbian shipping in the next movie. Oh, by the way, I love Captain Marvel. I didn't see it. According to
my
this
gosh.
writer.
She didn't even see it.
She didn't even see the movie. She's like, I'm such a bad feminist. I didn't even see the movie.
Like, remember what we said all along? It says the market you're targeting doesn't spend money. They don't even go see their own movie.
They generally wait about 2 years till it's on Netflix. Yeah.
We've been saying,
they do it so they can put a little figure on their desk of the pop figure.
Yeah. But we've been saying it. Doomcock has been saying it. Gary over Nerdrotic has been saying it. Jeremy Geeks and Gamers been saying it. Ethan's been saying it. And I hate using the word SJWs, but they don't spend money. And she just admitted that she's not going to spend money.
Well, and you wonder why Rotten Tomatoes is combating a shitty score. Because, yes, there are people out there who genuinely like this movie, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's obviously a huge disconnect, once again, between the actual critics, the audience, and a lot of the YouTube critics. Oh, and Chris Perza just pointed out that is that Captain America's bike?
No. Captain America rides a Harley 750.
No, this is the one she stole from the guy who asked her to smile.
Is it?
Because apparently you can do that.
She has similar clothes, but they left off the 9 Inch Nails shirt, probably on purpose. So
probably from licensing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, she's a fucking thief. She stole. This is grand theft. I you know what? No, I'm
did
not
it
a cool
better.
thief. I'm really not as cool.
Better.
And not only that, yes, Arnold did it better. We've already saw it. We already saw it in Terminator.
Twice. He was the only good part in the third movie besides the end. I don't give a fuck.
Not the poop.
They don't have shit on me.
Random, they're selling it as a Funko Pop.
Of course they are.
Yeah, because that's all these they buy because they're so cute and everything.
Why don't they just make an O.J. Simpson one too if we're going after people who shouldn't be arrested?
We were talking about Funko Pops on your recent live broadcast earlier.
Yeah.
I can't
check it out.
Check it out. Yeah, I am sorry.
Well, there are some good ones. There's some good ones.
There are a few in between.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. And once they have a few now that aren't so bad like they used to be, or at least the creature ones generally are a lot better than the people ones like these. But to me,
terrible. When it's a person, it looks all exactly the same.
Yes, and to me, they are the Beanie Babies of the genre collectibles. I'm sorry, I just.
I love
the only ones I've bought are Gremlins and the newest Little Shop of Horror ones, and that's just because I want to support merchandise for those two properties. That's it.
It was a.
Well, I have the Funko Little Shop of Horrors Audrey 2 plushie, but I don't have.
I gotta get that yet. That one's actually cool, but like the Audrey 2, Funkos look good. They look really good, but now the characters look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like Seymour and Lawrence and Audrey and all that shit look like garbage. But now the Audrey 2s look awesome.
There's only one kind of related toy that I really want. It's not a Funko Pop, but it's a Mighty Mug. It's the ROM Space Knight Mighty Mug.
And that kind of stuff's not so bad. But
because it's ROM. It's ROM.
Well, I mean, at least it kind of looks still like it's, like what it's supposed to be. Yeah. But like Mecca's saying, the most of the pops are just this generic like thing that
it's like I have an app to make it, like, oh, okay,
we can get your own pops made. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's like they just crank them out of an app when it's a person. Like, okay, what's the costume color? What's this? And it's nothing creative. At least when it's like an animal or a monster or something like a creature, at least they look okay. Like the Fraggles look really good.
Well, like the early Gremlins looked like shit. Stripe and Gizmo looked like the regular pops. But now the newer ones they brought out with the Flasher Gremlin and the Girl Gremlin, those two look good because they actually look like gremlins.
See, I sort of just buy the little. I was sort of just buy the little Gizmo Rambo little figures that I've seen, or
I've got the NECA Ultimate Gizmo where you can change him out between the first and second movie, and one of the costumes is the Rambo.
I just thought of pardon me, I just thought of it. The saying, I love Carol Danvers, but I didn't see the movie. Kind of reminds me of that scene in Zoolander. Yeah, I really admire Sting. I'm not a fan of his music. I don't actually listen to him, but I admire him. You know,
Bono does a lot of great shit, but no, I don't buy his albums.
Yeah, I love Bono. Yeah, exactly. Bono's. I've never listened to his music. But I do admire him. I do like him.
Yeah, I linked that Mary Sue article in our group chat here. It's just hilarious.
We don't want to speculate whether or not Freddie Mercury liked Spinal Tap. We don't have any proof. Well, there was that one time he did say Spinal Tap, oh, they're shit, but you know, we have that. Well, that's a rumor. So, did you see that interview I posted with Spinal Tap at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert?
Can we make another Spinal Tap movie just
please, for the love of God?
They have the Mighty Wind movie. Did you guys see that?
Yes. I've seen all
Best in Show.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Waiting for Guffman, For Your Consideration, which For Your Consideration is an actual movie, to be clear. That one's not a mockumentary so much, but it was still improvised. But yeah, man, and that's one of the first movies we want to watch, and we're gonna do some watch parties, but we want to do something special. So I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes. Hopefully we'll have something to say about that soon. But one of the first movies, if not the first movie we are gonna watch, is going to be Spinal Tap. But speaking of bringing back something from the past that needs to be brought back, like Spinal Tap, we finally are getting some movement on Bill and Ted Face the Music. We got this announcement today.
I'm Alex Winter. And I'm Keanu Reed. And together we are Wild Stallions.
And
yeah!
At the Hollywood Bowl, where we'll never play.
Never play.
Oh. Well, we need to announce something.
Yes. We want to say thank you to you, the fans.
We do.
Because it looks like we might
actually,
hopefully,
make a movie this summer.
Bill and Ted 3.
Face the Music.
Yes.
And it is all because of you guys. And so we owe you a huge debt of gratitude. And we wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
And be excellent.
Be excellent.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck
Yay!
yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. I love those Bill and Ted movies. I wanted to get a picture of some of my Bill and Ted shit, but my phone is being an asshole, so I can show you guys. But I do have some. I'm a big, huge Bill and Ted fan. I have been in touch with, but I haven't heard back from Ed Sullivan yet, one of the writers of Bill and Ted. So hopefully he gets back to me soon with some news, because he did say he was going to hopefully get back to us when there was news, which now there's news. So next summer, here we go. It's the third time around. I love the first two films. I actually like the series as well until they changed it.
We need to do the watch party of maybe the movies.
Yeah, the Bill and Ted movies also should be ones that we should do watch parties for as well. The second movie to me is very underrated. People never give it enough credit.
Oh, I love the second one.
It's like, dude, the second movie is completely different from the first movie, and it never gets any credit for it. They took something that would normally be just a complete retread of the first movie and went a completely different direction from the first movie. I think that's what audiences weren't expecting necessarily at the time, so I think that's why, but I think it's found a bit of a cult audience now. Family Tree, also by Christopher Guest, is as much underrated, says JROK68. I have never seen that one. I guess I have to check that out now. Thanks for letting me know that. But yeah, back to Bill and Ted. Man, I wish they would have done this years ago when Carlin was still with us. That's the only downside.
Yeah.
So that's just sad. That's sad. It's the only sad thing about this, really.
And if you are any kind of Bill and Ted fan, I cannot recommend the Shout Factory 3-disc set enough. They actually got Keanu and Alex together doing interviews for the first time in God knows how many years. All the classics, special features are brought back over, but a bunch of new stuff, all the stuff they could anyway. And they did a really good job with them, I think. So, and you actually get the actual original soundtrack for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. It's not the fake 5.1 soundtrack that was on the DVDs that was garbage. And just listen to the difference between the two in the scene where Bill and Ted propose to the princesses, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. They ruin the sound in the 5.1 mix. But anyway, that's bullshit here, no there.
Yeah.
Great soundtracks too. I got the soundtracks, not just
They
the,
were.
not
I
just
think the second one was better.
well, yeah, they had a lot more money for the second one. Not just the I know I'm such a geek. I don't have just the music soundtracks, but I have the score soundtracks by David Newman as well.
Well, anyway, Bill and Ted, and finally we get a good comedy back. We can enjoy a good. Yeah, it's gonna take a little while, but we're gonna be following.
Not as long as you think. A year. We're basically a year out now, and as long as they start filming like they're planning to here, that's it. We're done. We're ready to go.
Everything's in place. Yep. Should we talk about what else should we talk about here? Terminator 6 officially has a title.
Well, just to clarify, they said that before, but now it's been officially announced. Eric Draven wanted a little clarification on the soundtrack to Bill and Ted 2. For some reason, when MGM did their first round of DVDs, they did this really weird 5.1 mix on a lot of their soundtracks it's like a fake mix, or they did a real shitty job with them. And Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was one of them that they took the 2.0 soundtrack, and the 5.1 soundtrack sounds nothing like the original soundtrack. And like I said, the best example is listening to the scene where they propose to the princesses, because in the original version, Bill and Ted are separated on the left and right channel as they're talking to the princesses, and it pans back and forth as the camera does. In the 5.1 mix, their voices are all mixed down to the center channel. That's it. So it sounds like shit. It's just a personal preference, but it's never been available since video in the original 2.0 soundtrack. So the 5.1 mix for the first film is all right, though. So. I know that's snobby bullshit.
No, it's important.
That's really
like
big audiophiles stuff.
Pan and scan. Yeah, it was the same thing with like pan and scan versus widescreen back when that was the thing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to see all this shaky cut stuff. Oh, but you'll have black bars at the top of your screen. So you don't understand. You're making the camera super shaky.
Especially when Sony started doing that digital pan and scan, that was horrid looking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, did it look out of place? Because all of a sudden it was just like this weird digital pan that, like, you could tell it was like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, that got bad. That got bad for a while, definitely.
What's funny is now, though, I mean, you do still have some of those full frame DVDs floating around. A lot of them are in people's collections.
Well, not only that, and this is what pisses me off. Here's a perfect fucking example. I just bought Earth Girls Are Easy in digital the other day because it's not been released since the DVD back in the day, and it's the same cropped off. It's cropped off at 1.85, so it's in widescreen for your TV, but the original film was filmed in scope. Like, even the credits are still in scope, and then it cuts to like this full frame. They're calling it the airplane cuts now, is what they call them. HBO runs these, Stars runs these. Certain companies like Lionsgate, which would be the company that owns Earth Girls Are Easy now, do this all the time with their 235 movies or 240 movies. Only a few exceptions are given, special treatment, like Terminator 2. But yeah, otherwise they're all cropped off, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was pissed.
Yeah, well, I was about to say that all those people, though, they said, yeah, when everybody still had standard definition TVs. Oh, I don't like those black bars. I'm not seeing the whole picture. I'm like, yeah, you are. But now the people who have those old DVDs, you think they're saying, I don't know, why does it have black bars on the sides? I don't understand.
Yeah, they're all squished. Nothing irks me more than walking into a Walmart or a friend's house and I just want to fix their TV.
Yes. Oh, they don't have their aspect ratios. Oh, yes.
Yeah, their aspect ratios off, or they've got that motion shit on. Let me tell you what this motion shit is, guys. It's just a digital way that your TV is adding extra frames that aren't there to generically make it look like you're watching a soap opera. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't look right. Film is film, and it looks away like it does on purpose for a reason. It's because it looks natural to the eye. That's why people complain so much when people have shot movies in, like, what was it, 60 whatever frames it was,
48 frames per minute,
48 frames for The Hobbit or whatever, because it took away the motion blur. People are used to and naturally see motion blur. Like when you wave your hand in front of your face, you don't see every perfect, it looks like it's all blurry in front of your face for a reason, because your eyes only see at about that kind of a rate. That's why film has always been at that rate, because it naturally looks natural to your eye. Yeah. And when you add that motion crap, that's all it's doing, is adding an extra frame in between every frame.
Yeah, I always say the people who say they want games locked in at 60 frames per second. Oh, 30 frames per second, 30 frames per second looks terrible. I'm like, well, and it's actually not, it's not frames per second. That's just the refresh rate.
Right, that's a little different for games, but
that's a little different. But there was, I can tell when something's more frames. I can tell. My eye sees it. My eye can tell. I'm like, no, you can't. The human brain can only process it at a certain rate. It's it's been proven.
It's just like the whole 8K and so on. They're talking. It's like, what's the point? Unless you got a TV that's bigger than your living room, you're not going to notice the fucking difference. You can't.
You have to be like Barney on How I Met Your Mother. 300-inch television. I know a guy. They don't sell them in America.
Basically, I mean, it's not a joke. I mean, you almost do have to have a TV so big that, maybe projectors, it might make a little bit of difference to help it look better, but you're still you can only see so much. And when most of the stuff we watch is only, here's another heartbreaking thing for you guys, and one of the reasons I haven't really, I do buy 4K, but I haven't really hopped over and bought a 4K TV or player yet. I'm future-proofing myself to a point, but 9 times out of 10, most of the shit out there is not mastered in 4K originally. You're just watching an up-converted 2K version of the film. But the ultra, the HDR, that's what it is. The HDR does make a difference. That I will admit. But when most of the stuff that you're watching isn't going to look that much better in 4K because it's not in 4K to begin with anymore, then what's the point? The Star Wars prequels will never be in 4K, and if they are, they're faking it. Or they had to have gone back and redid all the special effects. Because, for an example, episode 2 and 3 only exist in 1080i masters. They're actually faking them in the 1080p masters for the Blu-rays.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, do we have anything else to talk about? Let me see.
No, just techno babble with Dom. There we go. There's my show I should do on my own.
Well, actually, Disney is bringing back LucasArts. They're gonna be called LucasFilm.
Yes, there was that, and I'm not surprised with the issues they've had with EA and all that shit. So,
God, yeah.
About this, guys, especially you, Mecca. You're in the gaming.
Well, I know more about all the troubles that they've had with EA and just the whole microtransaction loot crate sort of debaucheries and debacles or whatever. There's a lot of they basically have been making some of these games that are really beautiful looking games, fun looking games, and turning them into these pay to win, basically $60 free to play games, and that's all they kind of are.
Yeah. I understand just to play devil's advocate for a moment. I understand why you need microtransactions to a certain degree, because it's expensive. Games are expensive. They're expensive to develop. They're expensive to make release. There's online servers now. There's constant updates. Everything, all that those expenses you didn't have 15, 20 years ago. Well, you have 15 years ago, but you didn't have them in the PS1 era. PS1 era, you made a game, you released it, you put it in the machine, it worked. Now, like I said, now you have people cheating to try to gain an advantage. I mean, how many cheaters have there been on Grand Theft Auto alone online? I mean, I suppose there's a lot of cheaters out on.
I'm sure, Mike.
And modders and
modders, yeah. And like I said, the servers are expensive to run over time. I mean, and I always tell people that doesn't run on Happy Thoughts. So I understand why you have to have microtransactions or some kind of monetization to a certain degree. However, the whole thing with the loot boxes, as we've covered, that was just bordering on abuse. It really was. The whole thing.
Not just abuse. It's. I think didn't they get some laws in place, or aren't they working on some laws on that?
Yeah,
there's some states transaction shit. Well, it's
Hawaii, yeah.
parents don't know the shit, and their kids could get on their shit and they can get in their certain areas, and it's so easy to just charge something to either your phone carrier or an account nowadays, to where even with a teenager, I'm especially worried about that shit all the time. So yeah, you got to almost keep a complete eye on everything nowadays. You can't stop for a second and like not look at your bank account.
Well, it seems like a lot of parents don't even realize that like their kids' video game consoles are online.
Everything costs money now. Yeah.
Not only that, like they can get onto the internet on there, and like they can get in real trouble. They can go and charge up a fortune, playing something online on their video games, on their consoles, on their handheld consoles. Even you can get online. You can get into other kinds of danger and stuff with that too. But a lot of parents are just so completely naive to. They'll say, "Oh yeah, don't get on Twitch because we know Twitch you can hang out and chat with other people." They have no idea what Discord is, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, Discord's fine." Discord is like getting on a phone call with somebody. It's like Skype. And parents don't know that. Parents are super clueless with anything.
It's funny though, and a lot of like gamers, when they say, "Oh well, if they start charging for this, I'll quit. I'll quit. I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna quit. I always say, they always threaten, "Oh, I'll quit. I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna quit. You're not gonna suddenly pick up your glove and ball and bat and go down to the park with the guys. I mean, it's a different era, and you're not going to pick up an instrument and start a band. Okay.
Well, speaking of different eras, Read by Nature says kids accidentally running up thousands has been a thing for decades now. Yeah, but it's a little different now.
It's much easier now.
Yeah, it's much easier now. And the things that we did when we were kids in comparison, like calling 900 numbers or random bullshit like that, could easily be remedied by a parent. Parents had so much more control back when they didn't give a shit what their kids did. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that with any, trying to be goofy about it, but it's true. I mean, our parents, but they expected and knew that we weren't going to act a fool, or, the cops would bring our ass home so they could kick our ass. And that was about it. Nowadays kids aren't afraid of nothing. They have free reign on everything. They have the ability to talk to anybody they want anywhere in the world at any time, and do just about anything they want, consume just about anything they want. And it's a little bit different than it was. The control level that parents had over children's spending ability compared to 20 years ago even is just so much different. I mean, my kid's always finding ways around shit, and it drives me nuts. Well, and luckily it's usually situations to where it can be remedied. But again, this is like I said, it's so much harder now than when my parents, they just put a 900 number block on the phone when we were kids. It's just as simple as that. Now you don't have that ability. It's amazing how much kids can get away with now.
Yep. Sad but true. Well, anyway,
and then they grow into these reeing adults who write for the Mary Sue.
Oh, it comes full circle.
Yeah.
Who owns the Mary Sue? Who owns them? I mean, how fitting.
I have no idea, to be honest. I was just making that shit up.
I'm not entirely convinced they're not a parody site.
Well, at first I thought they were. I thought they were at first. This is, they just started doing legit shit, I thought. Or wasn't it just like some kind of like forum against people calling Ray a Mary Sue or something like that? I thought, or something. I don't remember.
It's been around for a couple years.
Has it? I don't know.
Let me see. Let me check.
Mary Sue is owned by Satan. I wouldn't even own that shit.
Let's see. So it was the Mary Sue LLC, About Us, advertised subscription. There's no founder. Dan Abrams. Who the fuck is Dan Abrams?
Saddam, I wouldn't own that.
Let me see. Dan Abrams, founder of the Abrams Media Network.
Mediaite is another related.
Oh, it's founded by a guy named Dan Abrams, founder of the Abrams Media Network. Dan was general manager of MSNBC from 2006 to 2007. During his tenure, ratings grew by 62% when he branded the network the place for politics. In the 4 years prior to his management appointment, Dan hosted the Abrams Report. I remember this guy. Nightly Legal Affairs program, and later Verdict with Dan Abrams. In the past 2 years, Abrams' company, the Abrams Media Network, has become one of the nation's most successful, widely read digital media conglomerates. It includes Mediaite.com, the fashion styles site Styleite, Geekosystem.com for tech lovers, and Sports Grid. Dan is also co-founder of GossipCop.com, first major website to police gossip industry for inaccuracies reporting. Together, sites are reviewed by over $7 million unique users per month. Dan also runs digital media strategies firm Abrams Research, which advises multinational corporations, not-for-profits, and government agencies on how to use web tools effectively. So, oh, how ironic. The Mary Sue espousing women's representation for women was founded by a man.
That's precious. I love that. Why is that so good?
You're fired.
Oh boy. Well, if he's gay, then they'll say, well, at least he's a gay man. So. Dear God.
It's such a garbage thing, too. It's such a garbage site. Like, there better be gay representation in Captain Marvel. Oh, by the way, I didn't see it. I'm a terrible feminist.
It's also co-founded by some. It's also founded by somebody named Susanna Polo. I thought she'd get a creative writing degree, working kind of job thing. Instead, she stumbled into some great jobs.
Well, we're doing something right. We finally got demonetized.
Oh, finally? She founded the genre entertainment blog for women, the MarySue.com. And these days, she's entertainment editor at Polygon. Oh, there you go, Polygon. She's spoken at several.
The algorithm started to forget about us.
We were flying on the radar.
Oh, they changed the algorithm and fucked everything up on YouTube anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's founded by a guy and some chick who wants to get a Batwoman tattoo.
No.
What do we get demonetized? Well, I've been trying to.
It's hard to say.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
It never is.
She went to somewhere
before we even start.
She went to somewhere called Oberlin College. I've heard of Oberlin College, but I'm tired of these people. I really am tired of these people. Go away! Just go the fuck away. We're demonetized. What doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, they're so damn offended by everything. Why do they have to look at it if they're so fucking offended? Just block and mute and move on with your fucking lives. Go into your goddamn safe space. Excuse yourself from the rest of society since you can't handle it because you're such a fragile, precious fucking snowflake. You can't handle being in a world with other people. You're so offended by everything and offended on behalf of everybody else because of your white guilt. Stop. Just go to your little safe space, go to your panic room and stop. Get off the internet. Stop looking at things. Stop saying things. Don't interact with other people. We don't need you. We don't need you. We don't want you.
Of course.
Yes, we don't. We don't need them. But don't you understand? It makes people feel that. I'm like, shut up.
Good.
Well, I hate bringing this up because Bill Maher is the one who said it originally, that as far as I know. But because of the old Stan Lee thing, I've really he's irked me the wrong way lately. But anyway, he's not wrong about this. There's this portion of the world that feels like, and this is about kids, but it's the same thing here, where they feel like we should childproof the world for their kids instead of them actually being parents. And it's kind of works the same way here too with SJWs. It's like they expect everybody else in the world to conform to their feelings, even though halftime, I don't even think they know what the fuck they're feeling. And we don't like to get on politics here because there's just as much bullshit on the other side too. And frankly, just this idea though that's coming from these SJWs, NPCs, extreme left, whatever you want to call it. This idea that, you can't make fun of anything. You can't have anything anymore that makes fun of anything, period. you know, and their constant attacking of old classic cinema and television and digging up shit from the past from actors and other people that come from completely different eras. And this thing that I brought up the other day, where a lot of these people, and not all of them, but a lot of them, just seem to don't understand that life began before 1999, you know? And we've dealt with all this shit before. We've had all this shit happen before. You guys are not discovering anything. You guys are not doing anything new that hasn't been done before. Guess what? They tried the PC culture back in the 90s. It didn't work. It didn't fucking work. But what did happen and worked is we did get through a little bit of civil rights. We did get through, you know, a lot of ways with women's equality. And all you guys are doing is pushing it back. You know, it's just, I don't know. Anyways, you were going to say something.
Go watch PCU. Go watch PCU. You want a good, yeah, that's what it was like. That's what it's like now. It's come full circle.
Right. And Tim and Flip is right. It's not so much about feelings. It's about power to make others do what you want or feel what you want. And that's the big thing. And that kind of goes back to what I was griping about earlier, where people attack you when all of a sudden you say something negative about something that they love. Well, they forget that you love it too. And then they also say, like I compared it to the, you know, bill collectors or telemarketers, as Mecca brought up, the same thing, you know, where they just constantly peck at you like they think that's going to change your feelings somehow. Like all of a sudden you're just going to have this moment of clarity and go, oh my God, you're right. The Last Jedi is amazing. I never saw it this way before. You know,
that's what they want. Yeah. That's what they want.
It's just not going to happen. You know, it's just not going to happen. Just like if somebody's racist or somebody's, you know, prejudiced against something, you're not going to change their mind overnight.
No. What you can do is bothering them.
You could get them to tolerate the situation, which is what we ended up having to do in the 90s.
Yeah, or you
for everybody out there who was born after 1990. Yeah.
And this is why then we got to bring it back to Star Trek Discovery, because this is exactly what we say about Star Trek Discovery. You know, that you can preach and bitch and piss and moan, or you can give us a good way to tell us your, you know, whatever message you're trying to get across, like Star Trek would have done. You know, like real Star Trek, dealing with, you know, social issues and gender and race and all these things. You know, like how Enterprise had the 3 gendered sort of species, and you know, you can get us to look at something from a different perspective intelligently. The Orville does that all the time. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, they're preaching to the choir anyway, because they're going to a lot of like liberal channels or liberal content creators and yelling, "Oh, you're just alt-right. You're just alt-right." What? Because I'm not as far left as you, or these people aren't. And it's just it's ridiculous. And like, you know, you're actually doing the opposite of what you're trying to do. You're proving the point for the other side by being an idiot.
Dark Saber Force wants to know, what was PC culture like in the 90s? You had things like Love Fair. Yeah, it was easy to make fun of. Yeah,
it didn't get very far because most people were smart then, at least to realize that, like I just said, you're not going to change anybody's mind. You're not going to change anybody's feelings. What you can do is get it to where everybody agrees to disagree and at least be nice to each other. And that's kind of what it kind of boiled down to. And where women are acting like they didn't already have their revolution 2-3 times over is boggling the fuck out of me. Because I just brought this up on the last episode. Just happened to just start rolling on a video on my YouTube, as it does when I'm, you know, working on something in the background. And it started playing 70s Saturday morning cartoon shows. There was at least a good handful of not only female-led shows, but female superhero shows that were in there. So it's like, why are they acting like there has not been powerful women for years and years and years? Does not. And somebody posted it earlier on some Trek Twitter page where they reminded everybody of all the strong women that TNG had. And the original Star Trek and all these other things. It's like, and they didn't have to hoist that up and say that all the time, though. It was just there. It was just a natural part of what it was. And when you grandstand on something like that and you act like it's the only thing that's of value in what you're doing, then I think you're missing the point of entertainment. I really do. Now, if you can do something like the Orville, just to go back to what we were just talking about here in a roundabout way, that's the only thing that can actually do stuff like that. Take very liberal or, even, you know, out there progressive ideas and wrap it in something in a way that doesn't feel like it's preachy, but might actually make you think one way or the other in the end. See, now that shit's more powerful because it's a little bit different when you're trying to force somebody to take on an idea as it is when somebody thinks that they came up with that idea on their own. There's a big difference, or at least they come to that conclusion on their own. There's a whole different set of rules that apply there when how somebody will react to something. You know, if somebody's been racist their whole life and some moment in their life shows them that is of their own accord and they come to that on their own accord, it's going to mean so much more than somebody going, "You're racist, now act like you're not racist." It's not, you know what I mean? It's not going to have any effect on the person other than just to piss them off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's true.
You're not my supervisor!
Oh,
I
man.
know, Rob, but you know, that way I can still grab your butt and it's not considered sexual harassment because you're technically my superior, probably.
All ashore from the SS date rape.
Toot toot.
Toot toot.
All right. Well, if that's okay. Well,
Me too. Me too.
Pound me too. Pound me too. Go watch Doomcock's half review of Brother. Actually,
What's wrong with being sexy?
Sexist. Oh, it's
Sexist.
fun line.
Sexist. Yes.
Fun line between being clever and stupid.
It'd be different if she was making him smell the glove instead, right?
Oh, yes, because he's the victim. Because he's the victim. Oh,
yes, yes.
yeah.
See, right there's a perfect example. They understood that shit how many years ago already?
Yeah.
35.
And most women still did, and they loved the empowerment of the 70s and 80s. Oh my God, did women love it?
Exactly. We were empowered. You know, we still kind of had the right or the ability to be sexy too. We don't have that anymore. You get slut shamed and all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you knew there was a fine line then. You knew it was a fine line of stepping over of, you know, you could kill chivalry altogether, or you can be a strong, confident woman who knows she can say no and choose who she wants to be with when she wants to be with them and so on. You know, it was before that you had to listen to your daddy or your big brother or your fiance or your husband, and you had to do what they said, and that was the law. You know, you can call the cops all you want, and the cops just gonna come over and laugh at you. You know, it's like, and I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's true. I mean, it's just, I have like this nervous laugh when I do that shit. People say something about me laughing at my own jokes. It's not so much I laugh at my own jokes. It's just, yeah, it's just, man, you guys sometimes don't have a clue, I swear. And I love our younger audience because most of our younger audience, at least that listens to us, is woke in a different way. In that a sense that their eyes are open to what the fuck is going on, you know? God,
Right,
that interview, please listen to that interview with Robert Shea. That will open your eyes to exactly what is missing in Hollywood right now. Those kind of guys. The guys Rob always talks about. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's a couple of mutant turtles. Here's $10 million to make it.
Exactly. The guys who
And that's what we're
willing to take
missing.
chances on shit. Guys willing to take chances, yes. Okay. Well, pretty soon they're going to have analytics to determine what makes a hit movie. So
They already do.
Well, if you can do it, that they're trying to rely too heavily on analytics. And Steve Jobs said usually you don't know what you want until we give it to you, which kind of sounds dirty, but
well, and he was way ahead of his time. I mean, nobody was making movies back to back then unless they were a done deal, like Back to the Future 2 and 3, and that was just because it was going to be impossible to get everybody involved with those movies together again, unless you planned them back to fucking back. You know, it's a little different when Bob Shea stood up and goes, "Wait a minute, isn't there 3 books? Why are we only doing 2 movies?" You know, and then he turned to us in the interview and said, "Hell, if there was 5 books, I'd have done them." You know, he was one of the people that wanted to get the Hobbit off the ground right away too. You know, he would have made them all. We would have had, if it was up to him, we'd have had Lord of the Rings movies for the last 20 years.
Better than most of the crap we see now. All right, kids.
Well, and he was one of those
listen.
guys who didn't tell the filmmakers what to do either. So anyway, yeah, you got to Jalosia, don't you, Rob? I can tell.
Pretty much.
I'm doing this on purpose just to piss her off.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're closing in 1 hour 20 minutes. So
all right, it's a good time to shut her down.
Yeah, good time to wrap her up. Just like want to double bag that puppy. So.
Yeah, you have to double bag it, paper and plastic.
Paper and plastic. So if you like what we do, you like all this stuff, like, subscribe, dislike, it's all the same. It's interaction. Click the bell icon over to main channel. Yeah, I need the P corner. So head over to main channel, like, subscribe, click the bell icon over there. Head over to Patreon, support us with as little as $1 a month. Bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, my 10-minute stand-up set, making of the Edge videos, and more.
I need to get over there and get some stuff put on there. Yes, it's a little quiet on Patreon.
And if you don't have, if you don't have the meat, support us on Patreon, like, subscribe, and you can always send us money through PayPal if you like.
Well, we still don't have an address for that other than my personal address, I guess.
Or you can always go behind the diner and leave it in a bag, So
you can deliver it to my Streamlabs too.
If somebody, let's put it this way, if somebody really, really does not want to use Patreon and you have the means, I mean, seriously, if you're somebody who's stretching to live, don't worry about giving us anything. Yeah. The best you can do is to like and subscribe and share the videos.
Like, subscribe. Share the video. Sharing the videos does more, believe it or not.
But if you're somebody who actually has the extra money and really wants to contribute to what we do here to help us get cameras and stuff like that, which we're trying to work on, and you don't want to use Patreon, then just get a hold of us through email or Twitter, and we can tell you ways that you can help us out outside of Patreon for now until we get a set way of doing that. Anyway, sorry, Rob.
That's okay. Like I said, we tend to take the Bernie Sanders approach. Have like just small donations. Have like a lot of people have spent small amounts of money. That's kind of the way I sold it to Andre. But anyway,
and we're not expecting anything from anybody. So again, if you can't afford it, please don't worry about it. Please don't.
We're not. Listen, don't go into financial hardship because of us. Okay, like I said, listen to the show, share it. If you're a member of a message board, pass it along to the people there. Let the commercials play out because that helps us a lot. And
that goes, of course, for Mecca and all our other friends like Nerdrotic and Doomcock and others too. So Professor Geek, I'm sure they all feel the same way, right, Mecca?
Absolutely.
So Mecca, tell me about your channel.
I am Mecha Random 42. I complain about Brie Larson and nothing else apparently because no one watches any of my other videos. But no, according to what the trolls say, anyway. I guess I don't know.
That's how you do, right?
I know. Well, I'll be ripping Discovery a new one tomorrow night, probably live, and I will probably be reviewing the Orville as well. Probably do the tomorrow because we got new Orville tomorrow night, so we got good stuff.
Yay!
Patreon, Twitter, PO Box, all the stuff, all the things. So
should we get a PO Box, Rob?
Might be a good idea.
Should we? I don't know. Would anybody send us anything?
Well, let's put a poll up on Twitter. Okay.
Well, here's the thing: we'd have to get one central one, and what we'd need extra for would be for me to be able to send it to you guys or whoever is the main hub. So
let's put a poll up on Twitter. Okay. Run the poll from now through Sunday, whether or not we should have a PO box.
Well, I just don't think we're as cool as Mecca. And somebody told me earlier on Mecca's stream that we need to show some cleavage, and I said I got some major moves, and I got tons of
we got some man boobs,
but that's not the right kind. So I think there's random is supposed to be for us, but I'm not whoring out random on our channel. I'm sorry.
Oh, me? I'm sorry.
Just take a picture of your elbow. That's all. People think it's cleavage. Yeah, there's random.
Normally I have the hair like back. I've got no makeup on. That's why I don't usually do these.
We'll work on it. Rob needs an entirely new camera. I'll probably need a new camera because I have
this little Logitech. I gotta throw it away. I have on my desk the drawer of many things that I just throw all my shit into.
That's my desk. You can't see it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's every flat space in my house. If Brie Larson came over here, she'd get covered in shit.
Yeah, and I have this.
I don't mean
this
literal shit. I mean like just random stuff like mail and bills.
The dog would probably attack her though. So first, she would probably get past.
Don't know. Might try and.
I got one of those.
She's like wood.
I got one of those.
She likes sticks. So
yeah, I got one of those Logitech like webcams from like 10, 15 years ago. It's a ball. Looks like a huge eyeball. And it doesn't. It will not work with Windows 10. So I would need to get something else. What is it like? The Logitech C920?
We'll get you a GoPro, Rob.
Yeah, put on my head like Mikey Spock. Like look up my nose as I'm running. Yeah. There it goes. The webcam is in the trash right now. All right, kids.
Yeah,
like
Christopher, I don't know what's up with Andre, what he's doing. That's why I'm saying if you guys really, really have the money and want to donate to us, get a hold of me and I'll tell you where you can send it if you have to. So if you don't want to use Patreon anyway. But we're working on it. We're working on everything.
Yeah. It's the Barrel Bob Rob Cam coming to you in Shlomo Vision. So all right, kids, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Go support our friends, Professor Geek, Clownfish TV, JP. We gotta have JP on. Can we get JP on the show?
I don't care.
Oh, probably.
I don't. Anybody who wants to pretty much come on that you want to have on, Rob, you know I never say no.
Yes. We wanted to have the fan man on, but our schedule's conflicted, so that's
we don't. Hitler, I might have an issue with, but
yes. What do you have against me? No, that's not. What do you have against it? What do you have against Hitler? Ah! Yes.
I don't think our viewers would be very happy about that.
Don't you know Brie Larson represents the best in womanhood? She represents the.
I don't ever want to say nobody ever because I would never want to say that in case there's somebody, even though maybe some of our audience may not like them, I'd still like to ask them questions, even if they're hard hitting questions. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Brie Larson.
All right. But maybe we should. Hey, Brie Larson, you have an open invitation to the show. I'm like, if you want to come, do you want to discuss
Anthony
things?
Rapp would be kind of interesting.
Doug Jones.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. I would never really say no to just about anybody. I mean, but don't think that I would ask you questions that people want to know.
And I'll say, listen, I'll say this much. For anybody listening out there, we would not have you on just to ambush you. Okay. Because the last thing we want to do is be
no, we're always there, and generally, if you hear our interviews, there's a lot of times where people just give us non-answers or they refuse to answer something, and we'll cut it out here and there. Like the Nick Myers one, I think I left that in on purpose because there's a progression to how he talked. I got to figure out that it wasn't so much what I was asking him, but how I was asking him and how he could answer it. And more makes sense now after the fact, knowing more what we know now than we did then, kind of thing. But there's a ton of questions I wished I could have got to ask him, but I didn't want to bombard him with shit either. So
that's correct. So anyway, like I said, go support our friends, our new friend, the fan man, a lot of people, like I said, Professor Geek, JP, Diego Tesla Fun Time, Clownfish TV, Gary Neurotic, Doomcock's got a new review up. Check that out. Check out our interview with Robert Shea. We got a lot of stuff. Okay, like I said, we're gonna, yeah. All right, kids. Thanks for joining us. And we'll check it out.
Puddle now, so it don't matter, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to shut your yapper.
The only problem with Vic is we don't really get into a lot of this stuff. Well, get into that.
Yeah, but he's Captain Kirk.
You can't do this to me.
Talking about Trek.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if those would be. We really get into the stuff that people don't know about.
Well, I mean, I know I'm familiar enough with it.
Anyway,
see you later, everybody.
I like big Asian butts, and I cannot lie.
Alex Kurtzman can come talk to us anytime he wants, and
please
talk to him, and we will talk to him. And I can't think of nothing else. I just wanted to say "and" again. And
where's the bill?
We actually have a lot of interviews coming, guys. You have no idea. We've got like 6 interviews, I think, coming in the next couple months here. They're already recorded. They just have to be put out. It's crazy.
And
Take care, everybody.